Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Jenkins. Welcome back. For most of you, I'm assuming, many of you, we got to meet last semester in person in our Albany Med section, back in the day when we could actually meet face to face with masks on. Unfortunately, we are beginning this semester, and the way it looks, it'll probably stay that way, 100% online. So I know it's not ideal. The beautiful thing, though, is that you have me. I'm going to prepare the material as best I can. For a lot of you, you had me already for AMP 1, so you know what to expect. What you're going to find is that AMP 2 runs much the same way as AMP 1. For those of you that I have not met yet, welcome. This video is meant to help introduce you to what to expect in this course, okay? All right, so this is going to be Anatomy and Physiology 2. This is the Albany Med section, usually meeting for lecture at Albany Medical College Center. We're going to be 100% online. All right, let's talk about the lecture first. So for the lecture, we are not going to be meeting on Zoom at our scheduled time. So, usually when we met in person, we would meet at Albany Med at 5 p.m. on Mondays. Because of the type of student that I know that is in this class, I really just feel it's better to not meet at a certain time. Everyone is busy, everyone's schedule is kind of messed up because of COVID. So we are not going to be meeting on Zoom at 5 o'clock on Mondays. Instead, I will be posting, starting on Monday morning bright and early, I'll be posting the links to my YouTube channel. So for each chapter, okay, so when we start for week 1 in lecture, we're covering the blood. So when you go into Blackboard, you will see a tab that says Lecture PowerPoints and Videos. So when you click on that tab, you'll see blood. So you'll click on the blood folder because that's what we're doing first. And when you click on that blood folder, you'll see a link to the YouTube lecture. Usually I'm going to split the lectures into 2, and that's the case, for example, for blood. So you'll see the blood lecture part 1 and the blood lecture part 2. You'll click on the link, it'll open up a new window, and you'll see me in YouTube. And what you're going to see, for those of you that have not had me before, you'll see on the screen the PowerPoint. You'll hear my voice. You're not going to be seeing my face, which probably a good thing. But you'll see the PowerPoint, you'll hear my voice, and I'll be able to draw. So I use my iPad, and as I'm talking, as I'm lecturing, I'm marking exactly what I would do in lecture if we were meeting in person. So by listening to the lecture videos, you will know exactly what to focus on. When I circle something, when I talk about it a lot, when I underline it, when I add extra notes, that's what you need to review, be studying, okay? So for lecture, you'll have access to the YouTube videos all the time. So throughout the week, whenever it works in your schedule, you will watch these videos and take notes and study, okay? Along with the link to the lecture video, you will see the PowerPoint. So on Blackboard, you'll have access to the same PowerPoint that I'm using in the video. Some people like to download the PowerPoint and type in notes or print it off and write in notes. You will also have access to a Word document that's a chapter outline. So some people like to instead just print out the outline or open up the outline and then type in notes. Whatever works for you. People ask me, hey, Dr. Jenkins, is there a study guide? I don't need to give you a study guide because the study guide is that Word document outline. That outline goes through all the most important things, and then you're meant to fill in the material under each one. Okay, so for lecture, each week we'll have a topic. Sometimes we'll have a little bit longer on the longer chapters, but you'll know Have access to the videos of me going through the material that you can watch on your own schedule or watch them over and over again. Take notes on the PowerPoint or on the outline, and there you go. On Blackboard, you will see the syllabus also, and on the syllabus, you will see a semester schedule that shows everything, because I like to be organized, right? So you'll see for every week what we're covering in lecture, what we're covering in lab. And then you'll see when our lecture exams are. You will see when our lab practicals are. If it were me, I'd like to maybe print that schedule out so I know what's coming up, right? We're going to have, I think, 4 lecture exams. The lecture exams are usually around 50 questions. Because of the situation that we're in, the lecture exams will be all online. So it'll be multiple choice, it'll be timed, and you'll be able to access it through Blackboard. You'll be able to only do one attempt, and you will not be able to go back to previous questions. If you're wondering, the exams will be similar to what you had for me for AMP1. If you're someone that hasn't had me before, you can ask some of the other people in the class. They can let you know about what to expect for the exams. What I like to say is, something in my throat. What I like to say is challenging but fair. So if you watch the videos and you study what I talk about on the videos, that's what's going to be on the test. I will never throw in a question on something that we didn't talk about. Now, that's not to say it's going to be easy, particularly with AMP2. I've already recorded the blood lecture video, so you're going to hear me say it again. AMP2, we just jump right in. So this first unit is probably some of the hardest material for the whole semester. So be prepared to hit the ground running. AMP2 also has more physiology, which I love. It tends to be harder for many people, so it just means that you're going to have to anticipate that. Be ready to put the work in. It's not as much just memorizing structures. There's more physiology. But you can do it, okay? All right, so that's the lecture. We will, at the end of the semester, have a final exam. I'll talk about that as we get closer. If you've had me for AMP1, it'll be structured the same way. Let's talk about lab. So for lab, it's also going to be 100% online. For lab, it'll also be available to you on Blackboard all week for you to go through at your own timeline. We will not be meeting on Zoom at 5 p.m. on Wednesday nights or whatever. We will not be meeting at that time. Instead, just like for lecture, for lab, you'll see this week we're covering blood typing, right? And you'll go under the lab little folder, you'll click on blood typing, and then you'll see, oftentimes it'll be a video for you to watch of me going over the most important things of the lab. Those videos tend to be pretty short. And then there's going to be a lab worksheet along with every weekly lab. So our first week we have the blood typing lab. So you'll see a video of me reviewing blood typing in the lab. And then there's a lab worksheet. So for lab, you watch the video, you fill out the worksheet, you hand in the worksheet to me by email. Those lab worksheets are due no later than Sunday at midnight. Scheduled throughout the lab, you're going to see practicals and lab quizzes. I will put information about this up on Blackboard so you'll know what to expect. For example, the heart practical, all online. You'll see an announcement that goes through exactly what to expect. So on Blackboard, you'll see an announcement that says, this week we have the heart practical. It will be 25 questions. You will have 35 minutes to complete it. You will see questions that include labeling of the heart in the human model and in the pig heart. You will also be asked to trace blood through the heart. So you'll know what to expect, okay? In many of the labs, you'll see videos of me reviewing the models in the lab. So for the heart, you'll see a video of me in the lab holding up the plastic heart, showing it to you. Here's this, here's that. We, of course, have some dissections. I mean, I'm going to miss slicing it open with you in the lab. You may not miss it, but I'm going to miss it. In this online format, you will see a video of me going through the structures in the lab. Okay, so look at those. Use them to help you. In addition to the videos in the lab, you will also see folders with pictures of all the organs for each body system. And you'll see a folder of structures that's labeled, and then you'll see a folder of structures that are unlabeled. So it's a way for you to study pictures labeled and unlabeled. If you've heard the word on the street or you've had me before, I do not accept late assignments. So when a lab assignment is due Sunday at midnight, when a lecture exam, which will be available to you all week, when that's due Sunday at midnight, when your lab practicals that are available all week are due Sunday at midnight, I really mean Sunday at midnight. So if you email me a lab assignment and I receive it through email at 12:01 a.m., I'm not going to take it. Okay, so I really mean it. What this means is plan ahead. Don't wait until Sunday night to email me your assignment. Email it to me a little earlier. If you have questions about the material, email me. But don't wait until Sunday night at 10 p.m. If your lab assignment is due at midnight and you email me Sunday night at 10 p.m., it's unlikely that I'm going to be checking my email that late and be able to get back to you before it's due at midnight. So plan ahead, folks. Do your lab work, your lecture work earlier in the week, or at least earlier on the weekend. I do try my best to answer emails on weekends, but particularly on Sunday night, there's a limit. Same thing goes for when you take your online practicals or online lecture exams. Don't wait until Sunday night at 9 p.m. Okay? Try and take it earlier in the week or earlier on the weekend or even earlier in the day on Sunday. Because sometimes Blackboard will kick you off. It just happens. So that way, if you take it a little bit earlier, you send me an email. Hey, Dr. Jenkins, Blackboard kicked me off while I was taking the heart practical. Can you reset it for me? Sure. I get your email, I reset it. You have time to take it again before the midnight Sunday deadline. All right? Okay, what else? I have a little list over here, so I apologize for looking over here. So even though we're not meeting at a certain time for our Zoom lectures or Zoom labs, I will be holding office hours on Zoom every week. So every week on Blackboard, you'll see me posting my online Zoom office hours. And then there'll be a link right there for each office hour. If you click on it, Zoom opens right up, boom. So feel free to log on to those to ask me any question you want. If my Zoom office hours don't work in your schedule, send me an email. Hey, Dr. Jenkins, I'm busy all those times. Would you be able to meet on this date at this time? I am more than happy to try and meet with you at a separate time on Zoom. So I am here for you. You just have to reach out and not wait till the last minute. All right? Sometimes for A&P classes, instructors ask you to use the mastering program that goes along with our Pearson textbook. You will not be required to use mastering with me. So I will not be having any specific assignments through mastering. If you happen to have a mastering code, you can open it up and it has some great study tools. But there's nothing that's required on mastering in this class with me. All right. Last thing I want to say is I will be giving you a code for the app on a phone called Remind. So if you haven't used it before, it's a free app on any smartphone called Remind. I'll put a code on Blackboard, so you download Remind, you put in the course code, and what it is, it's basically a way that you and I can text without having to know each other's phone number. So if you don't have access to email as conveniently, or email is so 10 years ago now, I guess, people are always using these. So if it's more convenient and you have a question, open up Remind. Hey, Dr. J, I have a question about this, and I will get back to you. So there's no reason to not be able to communicate with me. All right, so here we go again. AMP2 is tough. I'm here to help you. You're going to have to do some work, a lot of work, but please reach out to me with questions and we can all get through this together. All right?